Yes, today we will discuss topic number 25, composition of skeleton and joints. The key points we will discuss in this lecture: bones, cartilage, type of cartilage, and joints. Human skeleton is made of two types of material: bones and cartilage. First, we will discuss bones. Bones are a type of connective tissue. They are hard and rigid. Rigid means strong and not to bend. Bones are made of fibers called collagen fibers, which are hardened by deposition of calcium and phosphate. Cartilage is also form a connective tissue. Cartilage are softer than bones. In embryonic condition, the skeleton is made of cartilage, but in adult condition, most of the cartilage converted into bones, hair pinna, flexible portion of nose, and trachea. In embryonic condition or in pregnancy condition, the whole skeleton of human is made of cartilage, but during after birth and final stage of pregnancy, the skeletal most of the cartilage convert into bones, and only portion of the skeleton remain in the form of cartilage. For example, air pinna, flexible portion of the nose, and trachea, the windpipe. Types of cartilage: there are three types. First, elastic cartilage. In elastic cartilage, the cells are closer together and there is less ground substance. Less ground substance means that matrix is less. An example are air plates and epiglottics. Epiglottics is the outer lid of pharynx. This is called epiglottis, and epiglottis prevent the entry of food entering of food from the esophagus during breathing, and similarly during eating to prevent the entrance of food particles to the larynx. Hyaline cartilage, it is a less number of cell and more ground substance. Less number of cell means bone cells and ground substance means matrix. The matrix is made of mainly from phosphate. Ground substance means matrix. So the matrix is made of some protein part, the collagen fibers, and calcium and phosphate. So phosphate and calcium made the ground substance in some collagen fibers. This is called ground substance. So less ground substance, more ground substance is present, and less bony cells are present. So such type of cartilage is called the hyaline cartilage or colorless cartilage. End of the long bones, for example, the joints ends are, for example, wrist region or knee region. The end or final end of the long bones, for example, the femur bone and the tibia and fibula bone end made of cartilage covered by the white cartilage. Similarly, nose, ears, trachea, larynx, and bronchi, these are the example of hyaline cartilage. Fibrous cartilage, it is the least number of cells, so it is maximum ground substances. Fibrous cartilage found in the intervertebrate legs. So the cartilage disc present between the two vertebrae, this is the example of fibrous cartilage. In elastic cartilage, the cells are closer to one another. Here the cells are closer to one another. So now we will discuss types of joints. So joints can be classified on the basis of the degree of moment they allow. So here the types of joints are immovable joints, fixed joints. Such joints allow no moment. Example, the joints between the skull bones, these are the immovable joints. Similarly, the second type is slightly movable joints. Such joints allow slight movement. For example, joints between the vertebrae. There are many types of movable joints in the body. The main types are hinge joints and ball and socket joints. So ball and socket joints and hinge joints are the example of freely movable joints. So hinge joints back and forward like the hinge on a door and allow movement in one plane only. The hinge joints allow movement in one plane, forward and backward movement. For example, the joints between the femur bone, radius, and ulna bones. So this is the example of hinge joint. The second type of freely movable joints, ball and socket joints. Ball and socket joints allow movement in all direction, upward, downward, forward, and backward. Hip joints and shoulder joints are the example of ball and socket joints. So this is the diagram show the structure of hinge joints. So here, this is the distal part or lower part of the humerus bone, and these are the proximal end of radius, and ulna, and this is a humerus. So here in the forelimb region, the joint between the humerus bones, the radius and ulna form the hinge joints, just allow the movement only in one plane, backward and forward. And this is a structure, and this is the ball and socket joints. This is the shoulder bone, and this is the upper end of the humerus bone. So the humerus bone, the upper part of the humerus bone, form a ball-like structure, and the shoulder bone or the hip bone form a cavity. So this cavity is called the socket, therefore it is called the ball and socket joint. So the joint between the shoulder bone and the humerus form ball and socket joint, and similarly the joint between the hip bone and femur bone also form ball and socket joint. So this is all about the bones and cartilage and joints. If you have any question, comment me, I will give answer. Thank you.